Thing looks like a wine bottle. Getting fancy this week. Oh, and it's 8%. Looks like I'm not going anywhere after this. That's a nice one right there. Whew, that is strong. Alright. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. As always, I am Alicide. So let's have a beer and talk about some video games. Alright, we had a lot of exciting news come out of Nintendo this week with their Nintendo Direct video that came across on the internet and I believe on 3DS devices, and you can probably watch it on your Wii also. Nintendo announced a new addition to the Legend of Zelda series on the 3DS, and it's actually going to be a sequel to one of my most favorite Zelda games, and that's The Link to the Past. So right now they're terming it The Link to the Past 2. I'm not sure if that's going to be the final title or not, but we already have gameplay from it and some screenshots, and from what I've seen it looks pretty fluid. It's kind of got that new Super Mario Brothers vibe to the aesthetics, at least, which doesn't bother me at all. I can see how it would bother some people. For some reason, Zelda fans are all about what the game actually looks like, and frankly, I don't really give a shit as long as it plays well and the game is fun. I actually kind of like this style better than the Wind Waker cel-shaded, like short bobblehead looking sort of things. But they're sticking with the tradition of the top-down perspective, which was in the original, and they're actually going to be fleshing that out a lot more because they actually have the 3D depth to play with. So they can go vertically with dungeons now, so you'll be looking down on Link and you'll be traversing up a tower. And that looks like one of the better utilizations of the 3D that I've seen in a while. That also presents some pretty interesting ways that they can present puzzles to you. So they'll be mostly perspective based, and it'll be cool to see how they play around with that and how they can integrate the items that Link gets in dungeons that help him out and whatnot. We got another game announcement that might interest some of you. It's a new addition to the Yoshis Island. I think it might actually be a direct sequel to the original. It looks cool. They didn't really have much to say about it. They had a few screenshots. It looks like they're going to be using a similar art design to the Link to the Past 2 and the new Super Mario Brothers sort of thing. I think that might just be because they have like that game engine all worked out and figured out, so it's one less thing they have to worry about. But in this game in particular, the art design is something that I think made the game. So it does worry me a little bit that it's looking like that, but it's a Yoshi's Island game. It's not going to be bad, so moving on. For those of you that are a fan of the Mother series or Earthbound, they are finally going to be localizing that for the American Virtual Console on Wii U. I've played the game, and as a traditional RPG, the storyline grabs me, but the gameplay itself kind of bores me, but I could see why people love it so much. And I kind of missed it in my childhood, so I don't really have the nostalgia factor there. But it is a cool game, and if it's at the right price point, you should probably check it out anyway. Bravely Default is also getting localized. Thank God. That game looks awesome. Right down my alley. And that's coming both in North America and Europe. So we all get to get it at the same time, not getting screwed over. Oh, it's a foamy bastard. And one last bit out of the Nintendo Direct announcements. Shin Megami Tensei IV will be coming to the 3DS, and that's gonna be getting a limited edition for those of you that pre-order the first run of the game. I think I might get in on it since you're getting quite a bit for the extra $10 that you'll be spending. You'll be getting a 176-page beginner strategy guide / art book. So it's going to contain a lot of design documents and character design, and also a little bit of insight into how you should go about playing the game. It's going to be coming with a music CD that's going to be covering the 20 years of Shin Megami Tensei music. It's going to be kind of like a greatest hits album. And I'm not sure if it's going to include tracks from the spin-off games, like Persona or the Devil Summoners. The music has always been good at least in the Persona games. I haven't ever played a Shin Megami Tensei myself, but this might be the first one that I hop into to check it out. And along with all those little goodies, you get a nice big slipcase that you can stuff it all into when you're not using it, so you can display it in your designated display area. And last on my list of things to discuss, I have a release date set for that Deadpool game that Activision's been teasing for a couple months now, June 25th. They've also told us that it's going to be released at a lower price point than you might be used to. So they said it would be about $49.99 on Xbox and PS3 and $39.99 on PC, which I'm kind of cautious to be excited about, because that might mean that they're going to be pushing a lot of DLC onto this, and that's kind of their way of covering for it. But we'll see. The game also has some pre-order bonuses that you might be interested in. If you pre-order from GameStop or EB, you can get a map pack, the Mercs map pack, something like that. Comes with 2 challenge maps and 2 additional costumes for Deadpool, if that catches your interest. And there's also a separate one on Amazon. If you pre-order with them, you get a $5 credit that can be used towards buying Marvel comics or wallpapers or graphic novels. So I think that about wraps it up for what caught my interest in the news this week. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you had anything else to share regarding the news stories that I brought up today, or anything that I may have missed, there's always the occasional story that flies under my radar, please be sure to leave a comment down below. I did say that I would have an item get coming for you guys. It is in the works. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it entertaining, because I don't have pictures to show you this time. It's just they're novels from the Worlds of Power series, if you're familiar with those at all. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it without just reading the book to you. But yeah, that should wrap it up. So until next time, I'm Aliside. Cheers everybody, and I'll see you next weekend. Or you can, if you like sharing what kind of beer you're drinking along with me.